Did the Ramsey family cover for Burke so that they didn't lose 2 kids in one night? Was Burke involved?
Might have seen or heard, even though he would have been a first-hand witness, and his room was right by JonBenét's. Or, and this is the most likely scenario in my opinion, he's lying about not asking Burke what happened, because I think Burke actually did it, and I think John and Patsy knew that. And he actually did read the report by the police because he wanted to make sure they didn't have any concrete evidence about that. Let's keep going because the lies only get bigger from here.
She said I observed him going casually through the mail, waiting for this phone call from the kidnapper. I was looking for another communication from the kidnapper. We had a pile of mail that had come through the front door slot, laying on the floor. I was going through it to see if there's anything else from the kidnapper. She should have been doing that. But she interpreted it as casually going through the mail while waiting for a call to come in. She also said 10 o'clock came and went. John didn't go nuts because we didn't get a call. The note said, I will call you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I didn't know if tomorrow was tomorrow or the day we were in. So when 10 o'clock came and went, I thought, oh my God, I got to wait another 24 hours.
Man, when I show you the letter, it's gotta be, I mean, I don't care if it was, I care who did this, but this letter was so clearly disguising the handwriting, and what it says is absolutely, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that they haven't been able to do anything even with this. I wonder, were there fingerprints? Was there touch DNA on the paper? It came from the house. How the frick did that happen? I just can't get over what I'm reading. I'm behind here. I'm looking at the ransom note and the discrepancies.
For this call to come.
Damn.
So it wasn't a big surprise that he didn't call because it said tomorrow in the note. What was the other thing? It was just nuts. Oh, when he found JonBenét, he didn't cry. There was no tears. People react differently to trauma, but when I lost my daughter Beth in a car accident, JonBenét's older sister, I was mad. I didn't cry. I was mad. Why did this happen? I was mad at God with Beth. And then with JonBenét, it was, and what I guess they didn't understand was when they're making these observations of our behavior.
Bye, Mo.
When I lost Beth, I got a call. It was over. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't get her to the best medical treatment. I couldn't go by her side and comfort her. It was over. It was done. She was gone. With JonBenét, it wasn't over. I could get her back. And I really thought I would, but I had to keep my wits about me. And I had to keep my head together and do whatever I could possibly do, not knowing what to do.
There's so many problems here that I could go on about it for hours. And in fact, I have an entire playlist breaking down lots of the things that John brought up in this clip, like the fact that a real kidnapper wouldn't leave any.
Oh yeah, and I have that right here. Look at the writing. Look at the way that first they start out and then it starts to get shaky. It's like someone grabbed a pen and did this. Okay. Or they used a different hand. They clearly that especially when you start getting down to the middle of the screen, they clearly tried to disguise it. Anyway, let's see what he says. I'm going to show you it after.
Ambiguity about when they were going to call, because getting that money on time is their number one priority. Indeed, the person most likely to overlook something so fundamental would be a hoaxer pretending to be a kidnapper because they know they're never going to get the money, and that's not the primary reason for writing the note. In the same vein as that contradiction, John seems to have contradictory beliefs about the ransom note. In one breath, he says he thinks it was real and he was trying to assemble the money so he could pay the ransom and get his daughter back. Yet in the next breath, he seems to be ignoring the fact that the ransom note said he was being monitored. Neither he nor Patsy seem to have taken that threat seriously.
Interesting. And that is interesting because had somebody kidnapped your child and left a ransom note to that level of detail, and it says, don't call, don't get law enforcement. I want the money. What did they do? Are there records that he, called the bank? Because at the time we didn't have internet to transfer money. I didn't think of that right now. Again, we've covered this. I don't know how many episodes now I have, 9, 10, whatever. I put it in the playlist. Didn't catch that. All right, let's keep going. Sorry about that.
Seriously, they sent Burke back up to his room without any sort of surveillance. They didn't check downstairs until the police were there. Just like any made-up story, whether it be a lying hoaxer trying to get away with a crime or a Hollywood blockbuster trying to tell a story, the plot holes are infinite. In
And why didn't they go downstairs before law enforcement got there? That makes no sense. You say it will be a stranger DNA. I would lay money out on it. I have no money, but I do know. What's up, Sweet Pea? Wyatt says that's good writing for someone switching up their hand. Well, look, when you see it closer, you'll see what I'm saying.
One interview that we analyzed, John said that JonBenét looked peaceful when he discovered her in the basement strangled to death. The problem is people who are strangled to death rarely look peaceful. They have bulging eyes, they're discolored,
True.
their tongues are usually protruding. Basically, it doesn't look peaceful. There's plenty more in this interview, so if you want to continue this series, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Check the end card for my links to parts 1 and 2. Until next time, stay true.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm going to show you this ransom note and a quick bit of evidence regarding or surrounding that it's almost, you can't refute it. I mean, what's up, Carly? Carly's in the house. Good to see you. Tiff, I think, got kicked off. I don't know if her internet's being wonky or what, but all right, I got the letter. I got the note. I'm going to show you, just quickly run down it, and then I'll tell you about what discrepancies that I found or what was found with it. So look there's closer now. You guys can see it better. Let me do this so you can see it even better. If someone was going to write a note, they would have written it ahead of time, not sit there for 15 minutes. All right. Bucci Man, what's up? I'm so glad Carly's here. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. All right. Family friend that was in the basement with John. All right. Hold on. All right. Take a look at that. Take a look at the letter and see how they started doing it. They started doing it and then it got blocky. When I see something like this that's flowing and then you look here and it's not, it's like a hard, right? And a hard T. And it was so hard that each one went through the paper. Nobody writes a W like this unless they're disguising it, unless they have a pencil and they're doing it on purpose with that type of pressure. All right. And it's hard to read. Listen carefully. We're a group of individuals that represent a small foreign fraction. We respect your business, which they spelled wrong, but not the country that it serves at this time. We have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed. And if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in 20s. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attached to the bank. When you get home, you'll put the money in a brown paper bag. I'll call you between 8 and 10 tomorrow. Now, I feel like when he just said that, when John just said that about the ransom and said, I didn't know what was today and what was tomorrow, I feel like a writing expert. They could have figured it out, and I'm going to tell you about it after. Bucci Mang, it's my Friday. All right. All right, listen carefully. It should be, please read. I'm doing it, Chamba. I'm doing it. I'm going to show you something as well. Okay, so when he interjected an excuse. Right now, we just heard John telling the interviewer that he didn't know what day was today or what was tomorrow. So he was like, anybody else that thought their child was kidnapped, that talks about between 8 and 10 in the morning, wouldn't he have rushed out and went to the bank to go get these kind of bills rather than saying, well, I don't know what tomorrow is or today, so I'm just going to sit at home, call my friends over and tell them about it. All right. Anyway, the delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money, and hence a earlier pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly take you, so I advise you not to provoke them. They don't like you. Sorry. The people don't like him. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. Right? Remember, she was strangled. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. Now look at this. That is important. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. But he picked up the phone and called all of those people. All right. If you alert the bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but we warned you. You started that. Law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You start a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us, follow our instructions. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Just 1 second. Okay. Thanks, guys, for hanging here. You guys know how we do around here. Baby Guilty needed batteries, so I wanted to not talk about this. Okay, let's keep going. Again, that is very odd because they talk about multiple people, and okay, still kind of odd if they didn't go out and do any of that, guys. Not only did they not do that, they called people over. That immediately deviates from not talking to even a stray dog. Okay? Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only I can't read that. You're not the only 4 out around. I have it typed out, but I'm gonna read as best I can. I don't know what that says.